Hello everyone, welcome back to Players of Games. I'm Will, this is Chris.
This is Pokemon.
We are in the Weather Institute. They blocked our path. We want to go to the next gym, but they don't want to let us through. So we gotta beat them soundly. Do we want to open up a space before going upstairs? Or do you think we should...
Nah, we can come. We can come back.
Okay.
Maybe we don't want cast form.
Well, even if we don't take it now, we can come back and get it later.
Yeah, cast form. I always got it, and I always wanted it to be good, and it never was. I just remember thinking how cool it was.
Oh, right.
Changed based on the weather.
Mm-hmm. We have 3 rare candies. Shall we use them?
Yeah, let's boost Voltron a bit.
That way we can have an effective electric type.
Effective. So, we have a choice.
No!
Do we want to have
No!
the threat of misclick?
No! No! Explosion, maybe. Just because it's a one-hit kill.
Well, it's not guaranteed. It's not a guaranteed one-hit KO. It's 250 power.
Oh man, imagine self-destruct, misclicking that while in a double battle.
Oh, oof.
That would be absolutely terrible.
See, that's why you send in Voltron in the first slot, so you know you have the chance to hit B and change it.
Gienna and Zubat.
Ugh.
Think we can risk Kevin being in here with that Zubat?
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. Then again, I was the one who was just somewhat advocating for possibly having the accidental chance of a self-destruct.
Well, I was kind of hoping for that, high-speed Maggie.
High-speed hit-and-run Maggie.
Yeah. Maggie is a beast on our team. Just an absolute beast. Steel types
She's a
are
bird?
So good. Oh yeah, that's true. It's our Iron Maiden.
She's not.
Alright, one more Pokemon from this double battle. Ah, well, would you look at that?
So,
Oh, okay.
you've gotten farther in Emerald than I ever have, right?
Most likely.
So, this can spoil it if you want. This game is how many years old? Do you eventually have a double battle against both the team leaders?
No. I don't know, because they haven't... I would hope that they would do it in a remade Emerald, like they did for Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. That would be awesome. I haven't played through all of Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby though, so I don't know if they do it there, but no, they don't do it in this.
As far as I know in the remakes, they don't, because the one just is always your friend.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah. Oh, that swagger. Come on, Kevin.
But yeah, it's been one of those interesting things while we're going through this and talking about just how many times the different villainous teams always bring up the fact that it's like, hey kid, why you meddling in what we're doing? And it's always what makes me feel like them acting like the protagonist is super young feels wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just like, you know, we're someone who, because we're the player character, you know, we're kind of forced into these situations.
Well,
and it's not like a big thing.
You know, it does actually kind of make sense to me that the main character's a kid, just because of the audience. A lot of younger kids will be playing.
I can understand a kid, but even then, like, I'm not saying make them an adult, but just making them closer to, like,
a teenager?
14 to 16.
Okay, we're on to the big fight.
Because that's the other thing. Because I feel like they've somewhat went the wrong way with some of that. Because all the evil team stuff was always interesting. And like, people would talk about, ooh, this is the
an admin fight.
The boss fight. The not that difficult boss fight, because she has 2 Pokemon. Like, it's always been like, you know, people would make the joke about, oh, you know, the kid fighting the villain. Yada yada yada. Like, it's all, like, why are the adults never as good at taking these things down, but the 10-year-old who just randomly stumbles onto their plan is? And then you get to, like, Sword and Shield, where there's really none of it. Like, there's no true, like,
villain
encounters. Like, they have Team Yell, which are closer to football hooligans than a true villainous team. And then there's, without, like, it's heavily foreshadowed and it's not hard to call. Like, everyone I've seen play the game calls the people who are going to have more, like, sinister motivations that aren't even that sinister. It's just, in a series of, we want to give a nickname to Cast Form? Well, yeah, we have to. Useless?
No.
What do you want to nickname it? Because I want to nickname it Useless.
Wait. Anchor. I want to name it Anchor. Because it's basically an anchor man.
Alright. It tells the weather.
Exactly.
But yeah. Like, I feel like they went the wrong way with it in Sun and Moon, and I don't feel like that's a controversial opinion. Because there's, like, none of that. There's times where you may think you're about to go on it, and in fact, that's the biggest thing. Like, even people who have made the joke, don't get stuck in the bed, don't get stuck in the bed. Yeah, you didn't get stuck in the bed. People always get stuck on it because you're hitting A, thinking that it's going after it. It's going to be like the Pokemon Center, where it's just like, okay, you took a rest and feel refreshed, and you got to type through that, and you got to press through that.
Oh, I just remembered.
And
we have a rival fight coming up.
Ooh, yeah. Is that not to Lily Cove though? I think that's Lily Cove.
No. There is a rival fight right around this corner. They give us Fly. Do you think we have a good enough team?
I have no idea.
Alright, gonna look it up then.
I am.
Alright, I'm looking at the Ruby and Sapphire one.
Oh lord.
What? They're gonna have a Grovyle, Wilmer, and Numel according to my thing. Though I believe the Numel's replaced with the Slugma?
So, you're ready for an interesting little weird thing?
What?
You know why I feel like May is the perfect character for the rival in this gen now?
Why? She has more personality?
No. Especially this game. Because having typed into my Pokedex May Emerald, trying to bring up her thing so I could look at her teams. Emerald is the birthstone for the month of May. Do you know about the birthstone thing? Like
No.
people like it's a weird thing where it's like the gemstones that like reflect the different months, and they call that your birthstone based on what month you fall under. I don't know what started it. I just know it's a thing because I've heard of stuff like that and heard people talk about it. Like people will get like jewelry that has their birthstone and stuff like that. So for May, it's the emerald because, you know, it's a vibrant green gem, and May is supposed to be like in the middle of spring. You know, it is supposed to be the archetypical month of spring.
Alright, so we're on our
And thus, you know, the vibrant
battle.
green things, all that.
Right. Okay, so yes. May on, yes, Route 119. May should have a Grovyle, a Lombre, and a Slugma.
And starts with the Slugma.
Not sure. I guess we can just put Kipper up front.
Then Daniel Bryan for the Grovyle, and
Aha! We need to go get Daniel Bryan.
why do you not have Daniel Bryan?
Because we were fighting Team Aqua.
Yeah, true.
Alright. So in this situation, who do we want to switch out?
We honestly do not need Voltorb for this. We don't need Voltron.
Okay. I'm also gonna move Cast Form down here.
Ooh, take that. The Mystic Water.
Alright, wait 1 moment. Gotta do the move items. It's definitely a nice item to have.
Yeah. But yeah. So back on my thing about like the villainous team and all that, like there's a lot of times where in that game it's been like
See? Right around the corner.
like a villainous team like boss thing would have broken up some of the monotony of just going through the routes and the gyms. Like there's no like dungeons. There's no major winding tricky caves. There's no
like New Mauville or the bases.
yeah. There's like no New Mauville, there's no Silphco or the radio tower in Gen 2.
It's becoming much more bland.
It's becoming a lot more just like straightforward, and I feel like that's been the biggest issue people have with the newer games. Is like they're becoming too easy, and part of it, and as much as people will be like, well, yeah, it's because you're growing up, like, puzzles that stump younger people are a lot easier to solve when you're older.
Are you kidding? The puzzles from this game are still challenging. You have to really think through it still.
Some of them, yeah.
I just think to the last boulder puzzle using strength that you have to do.
Oh God, I think we're thinking of the same one, and I always got stuck on it.
Exactly.
And, you know, when I was a kid, I'd always get stuck on it and couldn't figure it out. And you know who's? This is going to sound very odd. This is going to sound funny, and I hope people. You know who actually always helped me out of that?
Who?
My grandma. Like, when I was first playing these games was around the time, I think these came out like right around like a summer vacation type thing in school. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Will?
Yes, I can still hear you.
Okay, I wasn't sure if the connection was doing that weird thing. But yeah, like around a summer vacation, and I remember getting to that puzzle and I could not solve it. So I asked my grandma for help. Didn't play video games, didn't overly understand video games. She took it and she looked at it and it's like, yeah, figured it out, here you go.
I think everyone
like,
had that
awesome.
one person in their life that they would go to if they needed help with a certain game and such.
Well, I had different people I'd go to, but like, and I do understand the like, you know, things you thought were challenging as a kid, once you're an adult and grown up, you start having easier time with them.
Yeah.
Cause like, that
tree
hey, kid,
looks mighty suspicious.
You forgot to chroma key out the green screen.
This guy is either... I think he's a flyer guy. We, again, don't have the moves for it.
But yeah, like... Because, I didn't get the remakes, but I remember I have, I think on my PlayStation 3 somewhere, the old, like, downloadable PS1 classic versions of the Spyro games. You ever play those?
No.
They're good games, but it's just like playing through some of the ones I used to play through, that it's like I had them on a PlayStation 1 and played them. It's just like a lot of these things are easier, and like, you know, the finding the collectibles and these things I used to hate and never could do as a kid. I'm just like, oh, this is easy.
Yeah, but it was still interesting. Like you said, you played it then, it was difficult. You play it today, it's still the same game, it's still interesting, the challenge is still there, you just know how to do it. But the games
like
today of Pokemon...
You're more capable of getting... You're more capable of getting through the puzzles. That doesn't mean remove the puzzles.
Yeah.
Like, when you make certain things not have that challenge, it cheapens it a bit.
Yeah. Honestly, basically the only good thing, and this is a big opinion for me, that the best and only good thing about the new Pokemon games is that you get to see the Pokemon in 3D.
Oh yeah.
That is my absolute favorite part of the new games. But that's basically all they have, in my opinion. The challenge isn't there anymore.
There is one thing I can say. At the very least, as far as I know, I haven't seen a Pokemon fall back on the old stereotypical puzzle to throw in a video game. The Tower of Hanoi. You know that one?
I don't think I do. What is the Tower of Hanoi?
I think that's how it's pronounced. But it's the, you have 3 rods and like a pyramid of discs of different sizes can slide onto any rod. They all start on the first rod in like small, bigger, biggest type of thing. And it's, can you move them all from the first to the third without putting a bigger one on top of a smaller one?
Right. Yeah, that's...
And sometimes there's more pulls, sometimes it's like 3, 4, 5 different things. It's a math puzzle. But the number of times I've seen the Tower of Hanoi puzzle, but it's like, it's being told is like, oh, you gotta do this and that'll somehow fix the computer connection, or you gotta distribute the power from pylon A to pylon C, but you can't do such and such. It's like, I've seen that puzzle in a lot of different games. I don't think I've ever seen it in Pokemon. Then again, it would be hard to implement into Pokemon.
Seemed to squirm as it flew toward Route 131. Yes, we were.
Days ago.
Hello.
Route 120.
Yep. So the question is, do we want to try for an Absol, or do we want to catch the Kecleon?
Well, even besides that, what else could we catch?
Good question. Ooh, water balls.
Interesting.
Such a fun move.
Interesting.
What can we catch?
So, Oddish, Meryl, Poochyena, Mightyena, Seedot, Kecleon, Absol.
So basically the Seedot, Kecleon, and Absol.
Yeah.
Might as well get this item hidden in the trees. A rare candy. When was the last time I checked Ziggy? Ziggy has an item. A great ball.
I was gonna laugh if it was another rare candy.
Who do we want to use to try and catch Pokemon? Or should we go get a Voltron?
Up to you.
Well, who do we want? That's another question. Do we want Kecleon, Seedot, or Absol?
I'll turn that around on you. What do you want?
I'm totally into the Edge.
The Edge?
Yeah.
You calling Absol an edgelord?
Well, Absol is a dark type.
or as it's called in Japan, the evil type.
Oh, that's sad. Wait, so evil people, or the evil type is resistant against psychics?
Completely immune.
Wow. So that's the best part about being evil.
Yeah, but you have crippling fear of bugs.
So much tall grass, finally. That 'tis a mighty enough. Oh, can't escape. That's surprising. There we go. And a Fujiana.
A pooch hyena.
Another one. It's because the last 3 Pokemon that we can catch in here are at such high rarity ratios.
A 1%, a 1%, a 1%, and a 9%.
Oddish! Oops. Pressed too quickly.
Look upon your former self.
And be grateful that you are more powerful now. Oh gosh darn it. Really?
Baited.
Ah. Oh, this is going nowhere fast.
That's what hunting for rare Pokemon is.
That's very true. Well, we're basically out of time anyway. So we might as well call it now.
Yeah. Join us next time where we'll probably have skipped ahead to whatever encounter we get and show it to you.
Yep. Until then.